key focus in the yeshiva has always been Habatzas Torah, to reach Jews and transform communities.
Our Talmidim have had impact on dozens and dozens of communities, and really has changed the scene of Torah in America.
America is waiting for Torah. And when you see it in Las Vegas, and you see it in Louisville, Kentucky, and you see it in communities like Memphis, Tennessee, on the West Coast, and the East Coast, North, South, all across this country, you see a revolution.
Orlando's a large city with a growing population that was lacking the basic infrastructure for a Torah community to flourish.
When my wife and family arrived in Dallas many years ago, Dallas was a fledgling Orthodox community.
The community relative to today was dead.
Las Vegas, for the most part, several years ago, was a barren wasteland. You had somewhere in the neighborhood of 80,000 Jews, but from a true Orthodox standpoint, there really wasn't a lot.
7 years ago, the Yeshiva, Chofetz Chaim, was contacted by members of the Orlando community whose kids were in public school, and they wanted a Jewish school for their children. They said, "Do you have anyone that will come down and start a school?"
All of us were thirsting and hungry and ready for the arrival of the yeshiva.
The community had all the materials for rapid growth of an Orthodox community for many years, and once Chofetz Chaim came and lit that flame, the bonfire just was roaring to the sky.
When the yeshiva came, a vibrance came into the community that wasn't there before, and each year it's got better and better.
When there are yeshivos, schools in a community, people sense that the community is alive.
It creates a comfort to know that your children can go to a tremendous institution right in our backyard almost.
Because the yeshiva was here, the kollel was able to come, and now regular from families are able to move to Las Vegas.
We see how warm the community is growing, the school is growing. We bought a house 6 houses down from the shul, and my wife talks one day, maybe we'll actually move there.
Over the years, there have been many organizations that have been launched by the yeshiva, my shul, Congregation Ohev Shalom. We have the Yeshiva Mesivta of Dallas, Texas Torah Institute. We have JET, which is an outreach organization. We have the Sephardi Torah Center.
We have 2 shuls led by rabbis from Chofetz Chaim, the Young Israel, Rabbi Rabaski, and the East Boca Community, Rabbi Light. Torah Academy boasts over 360 students. Tiferes Torah of Boca Raton has close to 70 Talmidim.
We have a growing school, a shul, an Erev, outreach organizations.
Programs, events, classes, one-on-one learning, women's division, men's division, barbecues, all geared to the focus of let's show you the beauty of what it's really all about.
Teaching Aleph Beis to a child who was 12 years old who had never seen Aleph Beis before. And by the end of the year, the kid is asking a question on the Havamina of Rashi that any other kid in yeshiva would have asked, is something which keeps us going and is a tremendous sense of inspiration.
The rabbis who have come to South Florida over the years are literally a stellar group.
They are unbelievable role models that just being around them, you can tell you would like to act the way they act.
They're the best group out there. Their commitment and their depth of commitment is something to really, really marvel at.
And they literally came to somewhere with all opposition and just decided to move in with not knowing what's going to come from it. And I don't think they ever imagined this kind of success they're going to have. They imagined the obstacles, but I don't think they imagined success.
Throughout America, you hear about declining Judaism, and what we've seen is a renaissance.
You go back and you see people who are so elated with learning Torah. It's not the same community.
With the arrival of the Chofetz Chaim Yeshiva, St. Louis has just become a mecca of Torah. You have tremendous scholastic presence among the Rosh Yeshiva, and the Rebbeim are the finest you'll ever see.
The presence of Torah Academy of Boca Raton and Yeshiva Tiferes Torah has transformed us, has brought us to a higher place in terms of our hearts and our neshamos.
It's a place where our children can be raised in a tamimistic environment where they don't have some of the same challenges that you have of a large city, but they have those same amenities that you can find in a large city.
You start with the child, and then the child comes home, they say the Parsha, and then you slowly see a transformation in the parents.
Dallas has become vibrant because of the yeshiva. The yeshiva has made Dallas alive.
It's all to the credit of our esteemed Rebbe Zatzal, the Rosh Yeshiva's strength and his courage that he instilled into his Talmidim, that we had the ability to come into smaller communities throughout America and to disseminate Torah.
The Rosh Yeshiva used to look around the room and say, okay, for every two of you, there's another branch, there's another yeshiva out there.
The Rosh Yeshiva always used to say, they're waiting for you. You don't see it right away, but over time, they are. And they're coming. We've grown tremendously.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of barren wastelands in the country, and Chofetz Chaim to me is the best group that can go in as one cohesive unit and really turn these communities around.
It starts with an individual, it moves on to the family, and then it extends to the entire community. And before you know it, you have a flourishing Makom Torah.
I'm proud of our city, I'm proud of its growth, and I'm proud of our yeshiva. It's building our future, it's perpetuating the Ratzon of Hashem.
Chofetz Chaim has put Boca Raton in a place where we're poised to become the most rapidly growing Orthodox community in America.
Torah itself is our lifeblood, and to be able to go ahead and to be a part of it is a tremendous privilege.
The Germazian family is very, very privileged to be able to say that we support Chofetz Chaim because we feel that's the best use of our money.
This is just the beginning, and it's going to keep growing. I see what they've been doing here in these few years. Imagine as we look forward for the next 40, 50 years, what changes they can make.
It's not just the 5 cities you see here tonight. It is the overall responsibility that we carry for the millions of Jews that have not yet tasted the beauty of Torah. They need this, they want this. We have to find a way to give them access to that which we know is eternal.